Hello there, Liverpool fans. Back again to preview the Bournemouth Liverpool game, which is going to be played tomorrow at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth's home stadium. And so unfortunately, I haven't been able to make any videos from last week to cover the Everton game and the Burnley game, which were two victories for Liverpool in very, very different styles of football, really. I mean, the Everton game, the derby, was absolutely madness. I mean, I'd virtually given up. I mean, I was so angry and so pissed the way we played the game that I had left the computer to go downstairs to get a drink and to just think about that we've drawn the game. We've lost 2 points and. All of a sudden, I'm walking up the stairs again to see that we've scored the goal in the 96th minute to win the game. An unbelievable error from the Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford and the good old Divock Origi, who I've always said is a good player. He deserves to be in the squad at least because this man, he adds pace, he adds trickery, he adds bodies in the area, in the penalty area, and he's always likely to get on the end of a cross or to, just to go round players, to get past them and to get crosses into the area. And lo and behold, he puts the ball away for 1-0 in the 90th minute and the 96th minute, and Liverpool fans are in delirium. We're going mental, we're going mad. The whole of Anfield is shaking, and all of a sudden you see Jurgen Klopp running like a man possessed onto the pitch. To celebrate with Alisson, the goalkeeper, and it's just madness, right? It's like if you'd had a dream about it the day before, then it wouldn't have come true. I mean, it's such a weird feeling the way that we won the game, and it was a very vital 3 points because City had, I think the previous day they had beaten Bournemouth 3-1, so it was very important that we kept up with them because. Any loss of points now at this stage of the season, and it's looking very dire, looking very tough to get back into the title race. And of course, we went into the game with Burnley on Wednesday full of confidence because having won the game in the derby, the confidence in the team was sky high. All the players were on cloud nine, and we thought it's going to be much of the same. We didn't expect it to be a tough game, but you know what Burnley are like. They always turn up against Liverpool and certain other teams in the league, and that's exactly what they did. I mean, because they're in the relegation zone and they're fighting to avoid dropping down the Premier League into the Championship. So they came out with nothing to lose, and they made it tough for us. And we didn't look at the races. We looked a bit disjointed. We looked slow, ponderous in midfield, and we weren't able to get the ball to the front players quickly enough to cause them trouble. To cause panic in their penalty area. And I think the main cause of this was because of Klopp. Now, previous to the Everton game, it made too many changes. I mean, after the Everton game, he made too many changes for the game against Burnley. So I'm sat here in my chair, looking at on Twitter to see what the team news before the game, and I'm seeing he's made 7 changes to the lineup. I'm thinking, what's going on, Jurgen Klopp, man? You don't need to be making this many changes, especially that you're in a title race. You're fighting for the title, so you need to be playing a very strong team against Burnley to make sure that you get the 3 points because. Any drop of points at this stage in the season, I've said it before, and it's catastrophic. We lose it. City are not going to allow you to come back into the title race. Even if we draw a game, forget about losing. Losing is a disaster, but if we draw, even that's going to be too tough for Liverpool to come back from. And so at the end of the day, we got there. We got the job done in the end of at the end of the game, but it was a very tough match. Considering that we conceded the goal from a corner situation where Alisson made the save, but the player that scored the goal, Jack Cork, was offside. It was there for the whole world to see, and the bloody linesman, I don't know what he was doing, what he was watching, but he didn't seem to see what happened. So he allows the goal, and we're thinking, oh, here we go again. We're going to lose. We're going to drop points again to this bloody shite that is Burnley, at the bottom of the league. And it's just typical of Liverpool, what we've done in the past. And from somewhere we got a massive boost. And Milner, who the man who never lies down and dies, he is such an example to everyone else. He's a leader. He really is. He's a leader of the team, a leader of the club, and he got us back into it with a low strike into the corner beyond Joe Hart, and it's 1-1 pretty early. I mean, about 7 minutes after we conceded the goal, we scored the equaliser. So now you think that Liverpool are going to push on and win the game, and that's exactly what we did. We got the second one from Firmino. He was brought in as a second half substitute, but he was set up by Trent Alexander-Arnold, really, who floated the ball in from a free kick around the middle of the pitch, and Virgil van Dijk is at the the near post, and he crosses it in across the penalty area, and Firmino just taps it into the empty net, and it's 2-1. And that's the end of the game. You're thinking we've got the 3 points, but then the magnificent save from Alisson right at the end. I mean, I was absolutely bricking it. I thought it had gone into the top corner. The way the ball just arched and it sort of fell down into the goal, I was thinking, that's it. We're done for. It's going into the top corner. It's going to end up 2-2 and we lose points. And what a save. A magnificent dive with one hand, and he pushes it away. And from the ensuing melee, and Burnley somehow crossed the ball back into the area again, and it gets a deflection, I think, of Salah. And Alisson basically just like a wrestler just jumps into the air and just catches the ball like a superhero. He just plucks it out of the air and catches it. And then seeing that the team is quickly, running into a counter attack, he throws it quickly out onto the right side to Sturridge, who, with his magnificent pass, finds Salah, who is running down the right wing of the pitch. And his first time ball, a good pass to Shaqiri, who's in the penalty area on his own. And he just, as soon as he gets the ball first time, he just puts it into the back of the net. And it's 3-1, and that's game over. Liverpool get the 3 points. But what a game. I mean, Klopp, I really don't understand why he needed to make so many changes. There's no point, because if Liverpool are fighting for this Premier League title, for the Championship, then surely you have to be playing your best players more often than not. You cannot, you cannot be that naive. You cannot be that, silly to think that you're going to get away with it. You can't get away with it in the Premier League, Klopp. This is not the German league or other leagues in Europe where you can rest players and the top teams can still beat them, can still turn them over. This is the Premier League. Every team in this league fights to the bitter end. So you cannot be giving them any confidence before the game. And I feel that's what we did, because we didn't need to make this many changes, Jurgen Klopp really didn't need to make this many changes. And for some unknown reason, I mean, I can understand the problem of fatigue and playing too many games, but this is the most crucial part of the season. We need to be picking up 3 points from every game, because City are not looking like they're going to drop points. Maybe against Chelsea. Hopefully they do on Saturday, but that's probably the only team that can take points off them, along with Liverpool, because I don't see any other team in the league that is capable or even has the confidence, has the courage to actually attack them and score goals. So when I saw that team sheet for the Burnley game, I was like, what is going on? He's lost it. I mean, what is he doing, Klopp? Does he actually want to win the Premier League? Or is he's pretending to win the Premier League? He's pretending that he's in a title race. But, you have to give credit to him. He made the substitutions at the right time in the second half, and we win the game. So now we go to Bournemouth, to the Vitality Stadium, for a Saturday early kickoff, a 12:30 PM kickoff at the Vitality, and we need to win again. This is going to be much tougher, though. This is going to be much tougher than Burnley, because Bournemouth's attacking football and their all-round play on the pitch is much better than Burnley. This is a confident team, despite I think they've lost the last 3 or 4 games or something like that. They've lost three out of 4 games, and they only beat Huddersfield I think a day before we played on Tuesday, they beat Huddersfield at home in a 2-1 victory, but it wasn't a very convincing victory. So they're not looking like they're in form at the moment, Bournemouth. It's the perfect time to play them, I feel. If it had been, 3 or 4 weeks ago, it would have been very tough because they were flying. They were on good form, and they probably would have caused us a lot more problems. But now, seeing that Liverpool's morale is getting up there again, despite we're not playing great football, we're still not playing the great entertaining football that we were playing last year and winning games very comfortably. But as I said in one of my previous videos, there is no point in playing good football if you drop points. You need to be consistent. Winning league titles is all about consistency and scoring goals at the critical moments in the game. Finishing chances off. And that's what we've been doing this season, from the beginning until now. We've been doing that. We haven't played the greatest of football, but we've just grinded out the results, and we've got a lot of victories. We've played a lot of away games, especially against decent opposition, and we've got the points. So for me, the main thing in this point of the season, in this part of the season, is to just pick up the 3 points. I'm not for all this. We need to play better football. We need to entertain the fans and this and that. There's no point in this rubbish, We did that last season. We did that the season before that. The 16-17 season, we were flying again. We were at the top of the league, and then all of a sudden, I think it was in the middle or towards the end of December, we started to drop points again. And because we lost Mane and we lost Coutinho to an injury, Mane went to the African Cup of Nations, and Coutinho got injured in a game against, I think it was Sunderland, at Anfield, which we struggled to win, but we won it in the end. And from there on, we just lost the plot. We started to drop points all over the place from the beginning of January until about the middle of February. So about 6 weeks, we were lost, Liverpool, and we were all over the place. And from looking like the main title contender, the championship contender, we ended up dropping down to about 5th. And we only managed to get back into the top 4 in the final weeks. And so now this is a much more consistent Liverpool team. This is a much more pragmatic, a much more cleverer team that knows how to grind out results, that doesn't rush the game, basically. Because the amount of energy you need to win these games, if you're playing, you're playing full throttle football, you need to be on your game from the first minute to the 90th minute. With no let up, because if you make mistakes, if you slow down, you become tired, then the opposition beat you because you're knackered. After about 60 minutes, 65 minutes, the team is knackered because they try to make a very fast start to the game and try to blow teams away. If that doesn't come off and you're not successful, then by the time you reach like the 50th minute, the 55th minute or something, the team is gone. Physically they're gone. They can't handle the game anymore. They're lacking in fitness, in sharpness, and you end up throwing the game away, losing points. So now Liverpool are playing a much more better style of football, in my opinion, and they're winning the games in the Premier League. That's the most important thing, because if we have any aspiration of winning the title, then we need to be there until March, April, basically. I don't see City falling away, even if they drop points against Chelsea on Saturday, which is a very big possibility because Chelsea will want to do them. Chelsea will want to beat them, basically, and for their own pride, for their own for their own fans, because I think they've had a few disappointing results against Tottenham and Wolverhampton Wanderers, so they will want to get back to winning ways, especially against Man City, the champions of last season. And Liverpool need to take advantage. We need to win the early game against Bournemouth to go to the top of the league and to make it even tougher for City, because I've said it before, when you put pressure on teams, they will crack no matter how good they are. It doesn't matter that they've got a great squad, that they're at the top of the league. Pressure affects everybody. It affects the best athletes, the best sports people, the best teams in the world. So pressure, when teams are put under pressure, constant pressure, no let up. And this is what Liverpool have been doing to City since the beginning of the season. So, for me, Liverpool fans, as I said before, we need to win against Bournemouth tomorrow. There's no excuses. There's nowhere to hide. And Klopp needs to be clever. He needs to be tactically on his game. He cannot be making changes. At the most, only make two or three changes. You know, the likes of, I think, Mane, Robertson, and Gomez is not going to be playing, is he? So Gomez's position could be taken over by either Lovren or Matip. So I don't see that being a problem, because if the rest of the team perform, then they won't have much to do anyway. You know, with Virgil van Dijk there and Alisson performing heroics in goal, then we've got a very solid defence, a very good unit at the back, defensive unit. So it's all about the midfield players and the front players. If we can click, if we can gel and we can start winning games easier than we have been, then no team is able to stop Liverpool from now on, I don't see, in this league. And so by the time we play City at the Etihad, we could be at the top of the league, and that would be a very big morale booster for Liverpool, a very big confidence boost, because chasing is much more difficult, I feel. Despite, you know, when you're at the top of the league, that is pressure, that is big pressure, but you know that every time you win, you stay there. But if you're second and you're always having to keep up with the team at the top, that's an added pressure. That's a different kind of pressure. And you need strong characters. You need mentally strong players. You need players that can take the pressure and they can move on from it, you know, and win games. So a lot of our team is pretty young, and they're doing very well up until now. A lot of our players are pretty young, and they haven't really been in title races until now. They haven't been challengers for the title. So this is my only fear with Liverpool. I mean, it's all well and good that we're there now. We're at the top, but I don't want to see my team fall away. That really would depress me, you know. If Liverpool fall away now and we start to lose the leaders, and they start to open up a gap, then that would really piss me off massively, because, you know, seeing that we've done all this hard work to get into this position and to stay right next to City, you know, only a couple of points behind, to then, you know, lose it in a few mad weeks of football, you know, a month of football, then that would really destroy Liverpool fans. You know, it would really be a bad thing for us, because the fan base is really expectant now. We're hoping that Liverpool are going to be able to do it this time. We did it in 2008, 2009, where we came so close. But I think we lost it towards the end of the season with about a month to go to Man United, who somehow managed to win, like I think they won about 4 games in the last minute or something to pick up the 3 points when they were certain to drop points, and they just, from somewhere, they managed to win the games and they won it. You know, it's typical Fergie time kind of scenario, and they managed to do it. So, and then of course in the 13-14 season, where we were there until the end, you know, we were at the top, and we were, I think, something like 7 points ahead of City with about 4 games to go. And then that disaster happened against Chelsea, where we lost at home. We then went to Palace, took a 3-0 lead, and then capitulated, disintegrated, and ended up drawing the game 3-3. And from there, we couldn't recover. That was the final chance. You know, if we'd won that game, we would have taken it into the final week with City. And so they won it in the end, and 2 points ahead of Liverpool, Manchester City. And it was very, very heartbreaking, you know, very disastrous for Liverpool, for our fans, because the entire season they had played some of the best football that this country has ever seen in the 13-14 season, the Liverpool team. And the way we lost it in the end was very bad for the confidence, basically for the entire Liverpool fans in the world, because it was just a massive blow, the way we threw it away. If we'd just been a bit more pragmatic, a bit more organised in the Chelsea game, and just gone for the draw, because we didn't need to win it. You know, a draw would have been enough in that game. And so it wasn't to be. And City won their games in hand against Liverpool and took the title at the end. So this season we're chasing them from behind, but we're really near to them. 2 points is nothing. It's not even one game, one victory. I see them dropping points, I really do, against Chelsea. I think that the fact that they're having to play so many games, the same with Liverpool, but having to play away from home at Stamford Bridge. If it was at the Etihad, it would have been a different story. But having to go to London, to Stamford Bridge, is going to be tough for them. And having to watch the Liverpool game beforehand to see what happens in that game. And if they see that Liverpool win, then that will make them even more nervous. That will put even more pressure on them to win the game against Chelsea. And if they try to play too expansive, too attacking against Chelsea, then Chelsea have the players to put them away, to beat them. And yeah, so it's all looking good, Liverpool fans. We need to keep our part of the bargain. We need to keep picking up the 3 points. That's the most important thing. And for us to do that, Klopp needs to play his best players. Do not be resting players, Klopp. Please. I know that the Napoli game in midweek is very important for Liverpool, for our European aspirations, for carrying on in the European Cup. But you can't be throwing the league away just for one game against Napoli. We can still get through that game with the confidence, with the adrenaline rush from beating these teams in the league. We will still be confident in that game to beat Napoli, because I think we only need to win 1-0 against Napoli at Anfield. We can do that. We've beaten much tougher teams at Anfield. We've beaten teams like Man City. What's his name? Roma last season. We've beaten a lot of good teams at Anfield to get through, and so I'm not scared. And we beat them, massively. We beat Roma 5-2. We beat Man City 3-0 in the Champions League. So if we can beat these two teams, then Napoli shouldn't be that hard a game for Liverpool. They are a good team. I'm not saying that they're not a good team. They are a good team, but they will be nervous. They will be panicky against Liverpool at Anfield. And when they see the atmosphere, when they come out onto the Anfield pitch and they see the atmosphere, that's going to make them even more nervous against Liverpool. So all in all, Liverpool fans, I apologise for not making any videos from last weekend, for the Everton outstanding derby victory in the last seconds, and then the victory against Burnley. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really wanted to do any videos. It's just been a bit of a depressing period in the week, during the week. So, and of course, other Liverpool fans have been making videos left, right, and centre on YouTube. So yeah, I haven't, I didn't really want to do any videos, but today I'm up for it. Seeing that Liverpool have won the 2 games and we're very near now, very, very close to getting to the top of the league. We just need to beat Bournemouth tomorrow, and that could be the turning point in the season for Liverpool. If we win tomorrow, go to the top, and City drop points against Chelsea, then from now on, Liverpool will be considered the favourites to win the title, because it's all in our hands from now on. From this day on, from tomorrow onwards, it's all in Liverpool's hands to carry on and to open up a gap with City if we can. If not, then we just keep winning. And I think that they will, somewhere down the line, they will give up, because they want to do well in the Champions League as well. They've got a major priority to do well in the Champions League. Their ownership, the Arabs expect them to do well, because all this money spent, Pep Guardiola, and he hasn't achieved anything in European football. So he needs to be more successful. Therefore, I feel that they will start to be thinking about the Champions League, trying to win it, trying to get to the latter rounds of the Champions League, and that will leave the door open for Liverpool to go on and open up a gap in the Premier League. And if we're not successful in the European Cup, I'm not too worried, because we did it last season. We got to the final, we lost in a very bad situation to Real Madrid, very bad circumstances. We lost, but for this season, I can give that up. I don't care. If we don't win it this season, we don't get any further, then fair enough. If we've got a title race on and we're going for the title, the championship, then it doesn't matter at the end of the day. A trophy is a trophy. Winning the league is very important for Liverpool, because we haven't won it for 28 years. We need to get that that ghost out of the house. Basically, we need to do away with the hoodoo. Basically, that we're not able to win the title, because every year that goes past and you don't win it, it becomes even more difficult for Liverpool, because it becomes harder for us to even get close to winning it. And seeing the amount of money in football nowadays, it's only going to get harder, because the top teams are going to be spending left, right, and centre to get the best players in the world to compete, to get back to winning titles. And if Liverpool don't take their chances when they're doing well in the league, then it's just going to be an uphill task from now on for Liverpool. So that's it, Liverpool fans. All in all, thank you very much. God bless. I just wanted to make a quick preview of the Bournemouth game for tomorrow. As I said, I would keep a settled team. I wouldn't make many changes, because we've got until I think the game is on Wednesday, is it? Against Napoli. Or Tuesday even. So we've still got, Sunday, Monday. We've still got 2 days to recover. 2.5 days, 3 days. And we've got plenty of time to think about that game. The main priority at this part of the season is to do well in the league, to keep the pace with Man City and to put as much pressure on them as we can, because they will crack. They're sensing that Liverpool are not going to give up. Liverpool, we can't get rid of Liverpool. Despite we're playing good football, we're winning games, but they're doing the same. They're winning as well. And they're not looking like they're gonna, they're not looking like they're gonna give up until the end, Liverpool. So this is morale denting for Manchester City. It really is, and they must be thinking, what is going on? I mean, I've never seen Liverpool like this. We haven't seen Liverpool like this for many years. Since the 13-14 season, it's been about 4 or 5 years that we've actually been able to put a good title charge together, a consistent run in the league, and. Usually what used to happen was Liverpool would start the league season very slowly, very average start to the season, and we would be dropping points all over the place to mid-table teams, low teams in the league. And by the time we came to December time, January, the title would already be won. We'd be so far away from it that there's no point in actually going for it anymore. And top four, last 2 or 3 years we've been playing for top four, but even that does not make me happy. Liverpool, a club like Liverpool, should not be thinking about top four. Should always be expecting to win the Premier League title, because this is what we were doing in the past. We were so used to winning titles until 28 years ago, and since then we've somehow managed to go backwards, and we've allowed ourselves to digress basically, and we've become worse. As a consequence, the quality of players that we brought into the club, the managers that we got, and we just allowed ourselves to go backwards and to have no chance of winning the league title anymore, to not even get into the top four for many years. And since Klopp's come in, we've done well. But now the next step for Jurgen Klopp is to actually win it, because this is his 4th season at Liverpool. He needs to win something, whether it be the FA Cup, the Champions League, or the Premier League title. And out of these 3, the one that would make me the most happiest is definitely the Premier League. That would make me, fly into the air. That would make me so happy, because no one expects Liverpool to win it anymore. The last 20, 25 years, people have kind of forgotten about Liverpool, have not even talked about Liverpool as a title-winning team anymore, because we've never been there. I think we've only challenged for it about 4 or 5 times, getting into second place. So, yeah, that's it, Liverpool fans. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, subscribe, make your comments in the comment section below. It's going to be very much appreciated from fellow Reds around the world and in England. And up the Reds, basically. Up the mighty Reds. We're doing very well. We just need to keep the consistent run going. We need to believe. We need to have that mentality that we're going to win it. We need to now start to believe that we're actually genuine title contenders, and we can win this title. If the players don't believe, if they don't have that mentality, that winning mentality, then there's no point. We can't do it. They need to believe. They need to have the confidence. They need to have the arrogance that they're going to win it. So if City can do it, then we can do it, because our squad is not worse than theirs. In fact, in some situations, we're better than them, the players that we've got in our squad. So I don't see that we're lower down quality-wise to City. We're probably level with them, or even better than them in certain situations. And the fact that last year we beat them 3 times, twice in the European Cup and once in the Premier League at Anfield, shows that we can beat them on any given day. So if we're near to them until the game on the 3rd of January, or we're above them, then we can beat them at the Etihad and finish the job, go on to win the Premier League title. So that's about it, Liverpool fans. As I said before, please like, subscribe, make your comments in the comment section below, and God bless. It's been good to talk to you lot again after about a week of not making any videos, and take care of yourselves. Make sure that you watch the game tomorrow. It's an early kickoff, 12:30 PM kickoff at the Vitality, Bournemouth Stadium, and we should be winning the game. There's no excuses. And I don't want to see any changes from Jurgen Klopp. Play your strongest possible team. If Mane's not there, then play Sturridge. Keep Shaqiri in the team. put Salah and Firmino in the back into the team again, and place Sturridge or Origi in the place of Mane, so we can actually score goals. We can actually finish them off and win the game. And this time we have to perform from the first half. Do not leave it to the second half, because Bournemouth, from the games that I've seen of Bournemouth, they start the games very fast. They're a very athletic team, a very pacey team, and they will attack Liverpool from the first whistle if they get the chance. If they see that Liverpool are not on their game, they will attack us from the beginning. So we need to be starting the game good, with a good tempo, to make sure that we win it. If we can get it out of the way in the first half, go a couple of goals ahead, then second half we can start taking players off and resting them for the Napoli game. And hopefully, I pray to God that we don't pick up any more injuries. The Joe Gomez tackle, the Joe Gomez injury was a disaster for Liverpool. He's been playing so well during the season, and the bloody Burnley thugs. I could tell after about 5 minutes that they were out there to butcher us. They were flying all over the place. They were making tackles in positions that they didn't need to. The ball's going out for a throw-in, and the man comes sliding in and he takes the player. And the referee's just standing there like a lemon and not doing anything. And by the time he actually realised that they're playing too physical, too tough, it's too late. We've already lost Gomez to an injury, and they were doing it in the second half. They were cutting Sturridge down. They were tackling Naby Keita. Everyone, they were playing too physical. You can play physical in football. It's a physical game. It's a man's game. But you can't go out there with the intention to injure people, man. Come on. Use your skill as a footballer. Use your quality. You don't need to be flying all over the place. But because Burnley are in a tough situation, probably mentally they're not right as well. Their confidence is gone. So they think that they have to turn up the physicality. They have to start smashing teams all over the pitch, and it's not the right attitude to have. Sean Dyche, after the game, said that he didn't feel that it was a foul. When if you see the replay, most of the tackles that they made, his team, were fouls. In fact, I think Phil Bardsley had a terrible foul on one of our players that should have been a red card, and he got away with it, the son of a bitch. I think during the first half, he come flying into one of our players and he caught him right on the ankle. It was such a late tackle, such a horrid tackle, and the referee didn't even give a yellow card, I don't think. He only gave a foul for Liverpool, so they got away with it, Burnley. I mean, if the FA actually go back and watch that game, probably 3 or 4 of their players would get banned, I'm telling you. They're going over the top, they're playing too physically in the game. But we have to expect this because Liverpool are successful. So most of the teams in the league are going to play like this against Liverpool. The teams that can't play football don't have the quality, the calibre, the players that can play good passing football, attacking football. They're going to resort to this kind of tactics to stop us. So we need to be used to it. And we need to be a bit more tougher. We need to be a bit more resilient against these kind of teams, So that's it, Liverpool fans. Thank you again for watching the video, as I said before. And hopefully another 3 points tomorrow, and we go to the top of the league. And then we wait for the Chelsea-Man City game at 5:30 to see what kind of result comes out from the game. Basically, hopefully a positive result for Liverpool, and we stay at the top of the league, or level on points. Even if they get a draw, I'll be happy with that, because that means that they've lost 2 points. And we're level with them, it's only goal difference. So, thank you again, Liverpool fans, and take care of yourselves. Up the Reds, another 3 points, please, Mr. Klopp, and don't make any bloody changes. Take care of yourselves.